So on my unending quest to blow this truck up, I didn't really put into the budget for a new rear end on the truck, and I really should have like a 4.9-inch or anything better than the stock 12 bolt in the back of this truck. Since it's open diff and I don't feel like buying a entire new rear end for this truck right now, I'm gonna teach you how to weld it together. So we've got our handy dandy welder over here and some brake clean, and we're gonna take the diff off, clean it out, and weld it all together. I've never done this before, and I'm pretty sure I have to have like a plate or something to shove in there, so we're gonna find something laying around the garage, which actually I think I have a piece over here. Cut it up, stick it in there, and weld it all in together. I'm sure it'll look just dandy. Oh, that is bad. Oh, that is so bad. That's not good at all. Not that I'm foreshadowing or anything, but do not put down floor dry before you're about to weld. Just helpful tip. No. So if any of you don't know anything about open differentials, so you got spider gear here, spider gear there, there, and there. I'll show you how it works. So when you spin this, it's only moving that tire. That tire is not moving. It'll move a tiny bit, but if you put a little bit of load on that tire, put some load on it, it don't move, but that one does. Because it always goes to the tire with the least amount of traction. Cut us out a little piece of steel to put in here and weld it to every one of these spider gears. And that way, your two axles are completely locked together. We do that on the front side and the back side. But it's all cleaned up. I'm gonna clean these guys up so that they're gonna weld really good. Because these will go in the little hole where that pin is. These will slide into there, because you don't want to weld these on top of the spider gears, because you're not going to have very much area at all to weld. You'll just be welding on the tip of each gear tooth. We'll climb under there with our welder, throw these in there, and start blasting them in there. See if we can't get a decent weld on these guys. Okay, I'm not gonna show you my welds under there, because I'll be honest with you, they'll probably scare you just as much as they scare me, but I promise you they are there. That's all that matters, and as long as the wheels stay together for a couple of runs, I'll be happy with it. Anyway, it's time to get this engine started finally. The strippers already been installed, but we got the wiring hooked up there. We got our power wire. We're just gonna run that straight to a battery for now, just to run it, crank it over, make sure it runs. Not gonna break it at night. Not the ideal thing to do at like 10, 12 o'clock at night. We've got a starter on. We've got our rockers, push rods, everything installed, adjusted correctly. Radiators installed, radiator hoses. Again, none of that's gonna matter tonight because we're not gonna break it in. So really the last thing we need to do here is hook us up a little jumper wire, or wire from our positive on the coil, get a battery, sit it over here. Other than that, literally the only thing we need to do to get this thing running is put our spark plugs and spark plug wires on. Fire, I'm gonna make sure I dump the gas. Yeah, go ahead. That thing runs fucking cherry. Oh, it's even idle on. It idles fucking perfect. We're just about ready to start the engine, but I have to install some like gauges and whatnot so I can, you know, watch everything to make sure everything's going good and whatnot while it's running. So I bought us a tack. You don't really need one, but I really wanted a tack. Anyway, we've also got a water temp gauge, oil pressure gauge, all that good stuff, just so we can monitor everything, make sure it's all going good. I also got a little Holley 7 PSI fuel pump. it'll work just fine for what we're doing right here. And the best thing about an HEI distributor, which I'm pretty sure I've said before, but I don't remember, is 2 freaking wires. One wire goes to back to your 12 volt. It's supposed to be key on, but right now I'm just gonna run it hot just to break it in. And then your green wire is for attack. That's all you do.
I don't care about the scene, I don't care about the location. All that matters not to me, that you wherever I go, baby. I just need you by my side. Yeah, that's until the day I die.
Not bad, not bad. Okay, folks, it's time to break it in. We gotta let it run at 2,000 RPM for 20 minutes. And hope, pray, cross our fingers, and hope that it doesn't blow up. Okay, so my eyebrows are still on, thank God. The issue I figured out is because I took off all the little nipples on the bottom of the carburetor, these little vacuum lines that I don't use. I don't need them. So I put new nipples back on it, and it should run just fine now. Fingers crossed, knock on some wood, and we'll try and start it again, and should have luck this time, hopefully. I cannot thank every single one of you enough for coming along on this journey with me, because I never would have thought that this truck would be what it is today without you guys and those that watch our videos. It means the absolute world to me, and I cannot thank you guys enough for everything you do. And a little bit of news that I'd like to share is that we're going to be moving shops soon. I bought a 2.5 acre piece of property, and we're gonna be having a 56 by 30 by 12 shop built on it, just for the YouTube channel and all of our projects. I'll keep you guys updated. Thank you for watching. Y'all have a good one. Alright, so one of the best reasons I bought this truck, yeah, it's got a V6, but it's a 4.3. It's got a manual 5-speed. Like, it's sticky as can be, but it's so cool. I am so excited about this because, believe me, you can't buy a 1500 truck anywhere anymore for 1,500 bucks.
What?
I don't know what I just said. Can we restart that?
Nope.
Restart it.
Nope.
On this episode of American Detour, we're bringing back to life my 94 Chevy Cheyenne with a 4.0 V6 that won't get out of its own way, and a transmission that won't shift, and brakes that don't work.
Yep.